Well, Tim, I know that you still got one thing left on your mind to accomplish, but what you've already accomplished is pretty impressive, man. It was the tournament that was put together was a great list of athletes, and you came through it in flying colors, man. Just talk about the challenge of what you had to go through, and if you feel some sense of accomplishment, what you've done already.
Yeah, everybody in the house was already a champion, so I had a huge hill to climb with just the opponents that were in the house. But the biggest competition for me was my weight cut. I'm one of the bigger guys in the house. I get as big as 164 pounds. So to make 125 pounds 4 times, it was hard. And I was miserable the whole time in the house. I felt like I didn't really represent myself as good as I could have because of the weight cuts. My fights, I feel like, weren't as good as they could have been because of the weight cuts. But I grinded through them, and I was lucky enough to have a good coaching staff. I mean, Joseph Benavidez, amazing coach. He brought in Robert Fallis, Eddie Baraka, Juan Archuleta, Danny Castillo. I mean, just top-level guys. And, honestly, the coaches pulled me through it. Not just the coaches, but the guys on my team and the guys that had already lost. After they lost, they were real supportive. Hey, man, we need you to win. You're the guy now. So they helped me all that they could. And really, man, I don't know as I would have got through it if it would have just been me in there by myself.
Very cool. I do wonder, as you were making your way through the tournament, or even just when you first came in the house, did you come in with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder? Because I think a lot of people, as you know, feel like you never should have been released from the UFC to begin with. So for you to have to go back through this path, I mean, did you have a little chip on your shoulder during it?
Honestly, I had no problems with being cut by the UFC. I thought it kind of sucked, but you got to win. And I felt like the only person to really beat me in the UFC was Joseph Benavidez. Zach Makovsky laid on me and was a boring fight. John Dodson ran backwards for 3 rounds. Ali Baguatinov ran backwards for 3 rounds. So I didn't have the best performances, and I could have definitely done better. But you got to win. The UFC wants winners, and if you're not winning, I get it, man. So they let me go, and it was the best thing that could have happened to me. It was at a time my daughter was just being born, so I quit training for a while. I quit being a fighter, and I was just a father. And being away from fighting for that little bit and becoming a father, it made me hungry for the sport again. I was motivated. I wanted it bad. I was enjoying practice. I started getting better again, and I went stagnant for so long there that it quit being fun. And then being fired by the UFC and then having my baby, it lit a fire under my ass, and it put me in a good place. That's what got me to where I'm at now.
Every tough contestant has to keep a secret when they go back home, but I do feel like your name leaked out awfully early as the winner of this show. What was it like the past couple of months, I guess, trying to keep it under wraps and, not play into people, I'm sure, asking you if the rumor was true?
It was difficult, but, it was a little easier for me than most guys, I'm sure. I'm not a big talker. I don't promote myself. I'm a guy who I hope my fighting speaks for itself, and, that's the guy that I want to be. And, so it was easy for me to keep my mouth shut. But, I know it was leaked early because as soon as I got out of the house, I had hundreds of text messages saying congratulations, emails of people saying that they knew that I won, pictures of people's, Google Fiber thing saying that I was in the finale after the second day out of the house. So, the secret wasn't that big, but it's easy for me to keep my mouth shut. And, I just want to fight. That's what I love to do, and that's what I'm here to do.
I've heard a lot of people say that if you pull this off, it's the biggest upset in UFC history. Does that feel a little disrespectful? I mean, as great as Demetrius is, does that feel a little like, hey, why is nobody giving me a shot?
Nah, man, I love it. Well, if you look at us on paper, then yeah, it's going to be a huge upset. But I'm not a technician. I'm not a martial artist. I'm a fighter. I'm a awkward, ugly, dirty fist fighter, and that's the only way to beat Demetrius Johnson. If this was a show of skill or a technique off, he beats me every time. But what it comes down to when the door shuts, this is an ass kicking contest, and I'm good there.